Hey, good evening, everybody. Blitzball Champ is back with a brand new video here on the U to the Tube. I'm sorry, let me try it again. U to the Tube. That's what I meant to do. So, I got some breaking news, for all the Carolina Panthers fans out there. So, we are hiring a new quarterbacks coach by the name of Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan will be the Carolina Panthers' new quarterbacks coach. Now, who is Sean Ryan? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Sean Ryan. He was a quarterbacks coach for the Houston Texans. He's been a quarterbacks coach for the Detroit Lions. Let's see, he's been a wide receivers coach as well for the Texans. He's also been a quarterbacks and wide receivers coach for the New York Giants. As a matter of fact, he was actually there for the Giants Super Bowl, the '07 Super Bowl, the one where the Giants beat the undefeated New England Patriots, gave them their one and only loss, but it was the biggest one because it won them the title. So he's worked with quarterbacks like Eli Manning. He's worked with Matthew Stafford. And he's worked with, wait for it, oh yeah, Deshaun Watson, the main quarterback that's been the talk of the town around the NFL. This sounds like a big deal. Um, this man has gotten a lot of praise as pretty much being one of the top best up and coming offensive coaches, and he's known for his development of younger talent. And who knows, y'all? He might eventually be on his way to becoming an offensive coordinator. It's possible. It's very possible. But what am I getting at? So, this is a big move because this could signal the clue of the Carolina Panthers really considering investing in trading to get Deshaun Watson. Now, there's a lot of factors that have to go into play, and it's got to really come down to Deshaun Watson because you know that he's on that no trade clause, and excuse me. But is Carolina considering giving up the house to get Deshaun Watson? If we get Deshaun Watson, he would have some familiar territory in being around Sean Ryan, quarterbacks coach. Been with him back in Houston. So, is this a clue? Is this the prelude? Remains to be seen. And some say that Carolina might be one of the top teams to potentially shoot for and land Deshaun Watson. Here's the thing, though. What really do y'all think Carolina should give up for Deshaun Watson? How bad do they want him? How bad would you want him? Me personally, I've been hearing a lot of talks about, multiple first round draft picks, maybe two first round draft picks in the second round, um, potentially giving up a player as well, like maybe a Teddy Bridgewater or a DJ Moore or a Robbie Anderson or even Christian McCaffrey. Here's my thing. I have mixed feelings about these scenarios when it comes to Deshaun Watson. There's some things you have to look at. Number one, of course, we have to keep in mind that Deshaun Watson still had a great season stat-wise. Maybe not record-wise, but he had a great season stat-wise. Let's take a look. Deshaun Watson. Let me just bring up his stats just to give y'all an idea of where I'm coming from. So stats for this past season. He had, here we go. We got it up now. So played in all 16 games. Threw for 4,823 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Had a rating of 112.4. Had a completion percentage of 70.2. He also rushed for 444 yards and had 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, he did get sacked 49 times, but he didn't get sacked as much as he did back in 2018. He got sacked 62 times. So, but, you know, QBR was a 70.5. And I believe he's first in the league this season for passing yards. Tied for 7th in passing touchdowns, tied for 7th in interceptions, and 12th in QBR. I mean, like I said, despite the record, which they finished with a, let's see, they finished with a 4-12 record. Yes. Yeah, they finished with a 4-12 record. So, I mean, Carolina had one win better, but Deshaun Watson still balled out. So, got to give him props for that. Here's the thing, though. You have to also think about what would be considered fair to give up in order to get Deshaun Watson. Now, let's talk Christian McCaffrey, because I know a lot of people say they'd be willing to give up Christian McCaffrey. Here's the thing. I get it. But at the same time, are we really getting a lot out of it and sacrificing Christian McCaffrey? Because let's be real. Yes, I understand the whole argument. He got paid a lot. He's a running back. Could he be replaced? It's possible. But here's the thing. Just like a lot of people say about the players in this draft, players like Trevor Lawrence, you know, players maybe even like Devontae Smith, you know, but I'll use Trevor Lawrence as an example. Say, you know, high caliber quarterback that people have their eyes on in the draft that, you know, looking to be, you know, the next big name, hopefully in the NFL. Well, you could put Christian McCaffrey in that same boat for running back. Because let's be real. It is not normal to see a running back get 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in one season. That ain't normal. Y'all know it, and I know it. But with that being said, it does say a lot about the offense that year. Christian McCaffrey had to really shoulder the load of the offense. And it yielded results in the stats, no doubt. And that's great. That's cool. The problem that I have with a lot of fans, with a lot of people, is designating him as injury prone after this season. After one season, automatically he's deemed injury prone. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't see how you can say that after one season. I mean, been plenty of folks that have gotten hurt, that have missed a season, that have bounced back. That doesn't mean that they're injury prone. I mean, shoot. When Steve Smith was out for the season that one year, we didn't get rid of him. We didn't even get rid of Kelvin Benjamin when he got hurt, and that was the year we went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, we didn't need him, but we didn't get rid of him. Over time, he ended up being a bust, but not after one year. That's if folks are gonna give a pass on rookie players, that struggle in their first season, I think it's only fair that you give that same pass to a player that experiences a bad season of injury, their first bad season of injury. I think that's only fair that you do that. So just folks waving around the excuse of Christian McCaffrey being injury prone, I think is garbage. You cannot sit there and say that, but then you'll see a rookie player stink it up their first year, and the excuse you have, well, he's a rookie, or a coach, well, it's their first year, they're coming out of college, it's their first year, give them time. You can't sit there and say that about them, but then Christian McCaffrey gets hurt the first time in a season, and bam, he's injury prone. Nah, that's bull crap. That's bull crap thinking. Plain and simple as that. You can't say that. You can't say that. But anyway, moving on. My thing is, are we really a quarterback away from making the playoffs? Because here's the thing. If we're sacrificing a lot of picks, what are we going to look towards as far as another big concern, which honestly, if you ask me, I think is the biggest concern of the Carolina Panthers offense, is the offensive line. And this upcoming draft could really be used to really spark up the offensive line, and then also free agency as well. But we can't, it wouldn't be good to give up a bunch of picks, even if there's some this year and some next year. If we're going to go all in on this, we got to really make it count. And when I say that, if we going to do this, I expect the Super Bowl within 2 years. Within 2 years of getting Deshaun Watson, we better get a Super Bowl. I kid you not. Otherwise, this will be a big bust. Big old bust. I know a lot of people are also thinking, Why not Matthew Stafford? Sure, but still kind of the same sort of scenario. If we go throw all of this in there, the multiple picks, I mean, some people, I'm hearing 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks, two and a second, and even a player, C-Mac or DJ Moore. All for one player? Are we that desperate for a quarterback? And then watch us not really invest in boosting our offensive line. If we do this, are we going to be able to take care of both big problems? We don't have just one, we have two big problems: quarterback and offensive line on offense. We cannot do one or the other. We need to do both. So I don't necessarily know what would be best to make this trade happen, but be careful in what's considered to be what you sacrifice. Because if you ask me, Deshaun Watson and Christian McCaffrey on the same team is deadly. You know it, and I know it. Let's not even kid ourselves. Those two on the same team would be deadly. But if we're going to trade Christian McCaffrey, which I highly disagree with, but that's just my opinion. But if we're going to trade Christian McCaffrey, pretty much legit our best player on the offense, and I'm not just going by Madden ratings, I'm saying actual, overall production since he's been here. And honestly, while I'm on the subject, I don't want to hear folks talk any type of crap about, look at Christian McCaffrey's record since he's been on the Panthers. No. You cannot put that on Christian McCaffrey. You cannot turn around and say that about him, but then praise Deshaun Watson when he just came, when right now he's on a 4-12 team and he balled out still on that team. You cannot sit there and praise him for that, but then you look at Christian McCaffrey and what his record has been for the Carolina Panthers since being here. Not an argument. Period. That ain't an argument. You can't sit there and do that. So that can kick rocks. But we're gonna give up Christian McCaffrey. Be sure we're getting of equal value in return, of pure equal value. I don't know if just Deshaun Watson and as many of those picks plus a player is equal value, but you ask me, how much of it isn't just straight up desperation? Not saying it is, but I'm saying it's possible. But it'll be interesting to see what the propositions are on how they go about pursuing Deshaun Watson, if that is indeed their plan. But, up to, 3 picks, maybe all first rounders, maybe 2 and a second rounder, and a player, that sounds really desperate. And we're getting just one player in return? Sounds pretty desperate. I hope it's not, but it could be. It could be. And the reason why I feel that way is because, like I said, I do not believe we are just a quarterback away. We need quarterback, and we need to boost our offensive line since a good more than half of them are free agents anyway. And offensive line is something that ever since the 2015 season, Carolina has not done a good job of addressing, especially consistently. They have not done well in that department. So that's my take on that. And like I said, there's Matthew Stafford, which I believe Matthew Stafford. Let me see what his stats are this season. I'm kind of curious. He's a little bit older than Deshaun Watson, of course. You know, he's in his 30s. Deshaun, I believe, is still in his 20s. So this season, Matthew Stafford has 4,084 yards passing, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a QBR of 68.5. Well, so a little bit less than Deshaun, but still not that bad. Still not that bad. 64.2 completion percentage, rating of 96.3. I mean, still pretty good. That is actually still pretty good for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions, they finished 5-11 as well, just like Carolina. So I mean, realistically, you can't really go too far wrong with Matthew Stafford as well. I mean, if we're basing this on stats, because I mean that's pretty much what this is. Because both players were on teams that did bad. So just keep that in mind. And you know, with Deshaun Watson being coming out of Clemson, the Carolinas will love him. But I think Stafford would be just as good as well. I do. But but yeah, from this quarterbacks coach signing of Sean Ryan, that could be the starting point. Carolina got something going on. We'll have to wait and see, but maybe they are serious about punching their ticket to go for Deshaun Watson. Is it worth it? Is it worth selling the house? Worth giving up so much for one player? Would you consider Matthew Stafford? Would you consider building up a quarterback from the draft? Let me know what y'all think. And let me know what y'all also think about the signing of Sean Ryan and what this does for this team. Like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss any video. Thank y'all for watching. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off. Keep pounding. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.